Colin from the Paranormal Files had to check himself into a rehab because he was suffering incredibly badly with an issue with alcoholism. Colin from the Paranormal Files is one of the most beloved characters in this space, boasting over 900,000 subscribers and known for making paranormal investigations light-hearted and fun, has always been seen as a person of joy and happiness. Recently though, that joy was stripped back, as was the humour, and we were left with a Colin that not many people had seen before. Completely exposed and vulnerable, Colin released the video titled "I Found God in a Rehab Centre," in which Colin opens up about a lot of things that have been going on with him behind the camera. He starts out the video by stating that he had just come out off the back of a 45-day stint in a rehabilitation centre.
That I've ever been with you guys online. So recently I completed a 45-day stint in a residential treatment center, treatment for alcoholism. It was one of the toughest decisions of my life to put myself into a treatment center. There's so much that went into that decision, thinking about my future, thinking about my past. It's crazy, but I'm really, really glad that I went and put myself in there because my life has been changed in an incredibly beautiful way.
Colin then goes on to say that he always struggled with anxiety, self-loathing and self-doubt, and to overcome this he used substances to mask himself and to paper over cracks.
About my mental health and my struggles with anxiety, with depression, with self-loathing, with self-doubting, all sorts of things, traumas of things that had happened in my past, and dealing with that sort of a thing on a day-to-day basis. And I've always tried to keep my head held up high. What I never realized was that for years I've been medicating myself with substances to get myself to feel normal, to feel like myself, to feel emotions. I mean, there's so much to my story, so much that I could get into to tell you guys about, but I really feel like I'm gonna have to one day make a whole documentary about my story and my struggles with substance abuse over the years. There have been a lot of different instances, terrible things that have happened, nights that I almost died. I don't want to get into the specifics right now because this is just so raw.
Colin says that this was not an easy decision for him to make, but due to him taking things too far with alcoholism, he finally thought enough was enough and he needed to make a positive change in his life.
Yeah, in the months leading up to the decision to check myself in, there were a lot of things that were happening in my life, times I was taking things too far, ways that I was acting that I didn't understand were being driven by alcoholism. When I first checked in there and started learning about all the stuff they were teaching, I realized that I am indeed an alcoholic, somebody who can't just have one drink. I would always have 15, 20, some nights 25 different drinks. And it was crazy. I mean, it was extremely unhealthy. I knew that it was terrible for myself, for my body, but I didn't have the control, the strength to stop what I was doing. And there was a circle, a sphere of lies, kind of hurt that I'd caused to friends, family members over the years through my addiction, having to cover up times that I had been drinking behind people's backs, hiding bottles, going out and saying I'm not going to drink. I'd have one drink and then I'd be blackout drunk at the end of the night. And yeah, I always thought that I drank like a normal person, but upon determining that I was an alcoholic and learning about how an alcoholic drinks, that's what I am. I can't just, like I said before, have one. It has to be many. And there have been other things that I've done along the way.
After talking about a spiritual awakening and feeling a lot more positive in his life, he says that he wanted to make this video to try and help people and inspire them to be able to take the leap and make a more positive change to their own lives.
And alcoholism, it's pretty crazy. Like I said, I had a great experience, but yeah, it's just wild. And I know that there are a lot of viewers out there, people who watch my videos who probably struggle with addiction themselves. I know people have messaged me with those concerns over the years. I still read everybody's emails and messages all the time, no matter where you send them. I typically read them, even though I don't have a lot of time to respond to many of them. But I'm really hoping that by opening up about my troubles here and my journey and kind of cueing you guys in, I can inspire some people to help make a positive change in their own lives, because this thing is brutal. Addiction is a brutal, brutal disease. Wasted years of my life doing terrible stuff to my body, and it was so normal back when I was in college, going to college parties, fraternity parties, all of that sort of thing.
Colin then said that his addiction started back when he was in high school, but it was fueled by his lifestyle on YouTube, with how hectic it can be and how hard it is to put yourself out there for hundreds of thousands of people to see and to be exposed to their thoughts and opinions on you.
And I just feel emotionally sober as well, learning how to control my emotions a little bit more, because YouTube and this lifestyle is extremely, extremely stressful. Putting yourself out there for hundreds of thousands, millions of people to, you know, say whatever they want to say about you, to judge you. Obviously, there are people who make videos about my channel, people that roast me in comment sections every day, people that just, I mean, I've gotten in the past death threats, I've gotten so many thousands and thousands of hateful direct messages on all my social media. I mean, every single day really, when you open your phone as a content creator, you scroll 5 comments down, you're bound to see somebody talking shit about you, and that stuff doesn't really bother me because I'm confident in who I am. And obviously I know that there's going to be people who have their own opinions about you no matter what you're doing. But the life that I kind of built for myself doing YouTube and doing a podcast, and how much work came from that, all played into, you know, me continuing to abuse alcohol time and time again.
He then mentioned some times where he almost died due to his addiction, and provided some positive updates for his channel now moving forwards.
Yeah, I've had tons of nights where I could have died, I should have died, and that's why I believe in something greater now. I want to state right here also that Courtney and I are doing better than ever. There's nothing to worry about there. I also want to make the announcement that Courtney is going to be returning to the videos soon, which is super great. Hopefully in January, our next series, Courtney's going to be back. I know she wants to come. We're just trying to figure out our schedules with the podcast and everything. The only reason she stopped being in the videos is because the podcast was really overwhelming. And I know a lot of people have said in the comments, like, is she pregnant? Like, does she not like ghost hunting anymore? It's none of the above. It's just the fact that the podcast has taken up so much time. But yeah, January she's coming back. But yeah, now that you kind of understand a little bit, I mean, there have been nights when I've been blackout drunk. I rode scooters on the street and I almost got hit by a car. I went flying off my scooter, slid 10, 15 feet down a gravel road. That was brutal. I've had nights where I tripped and fell and almost broke a leg. I scraped my knees up. They're still bruised. I mean, countless nights of just getting injured, and then other things that things that I've done. Definitely could have died from that too. I don't really want to speak too deeply on that, but yeah, I've gone through it all. I've had a pretty crazy life so far. A very, very beautiful, rewarding life, thanks to all of you guys online, thanks to my beautiful wife, to my family. But yeah, it's been a challenging one.
After this, the next half of the video was dedicated to Colin talking about a higher power that he found when he was in rehab. So if you want to go and listen to that, you need to go and check out Colin's full video, which you can find a link to in the description. Now, this video hit me hard because I obviously have a parent, I've kind of spoken about it a bit before on this channel, who is also an alcoholic. And I know how hard it is to try and change your life, to try and take away that addiction and kind of regain control on your life and kind of replace the feelings that addiction gave you, to be able to make those positive steps in your life. So for me, hats off to Colin, without a shadow of a doubt, because this would not at all have been an easy thing for Colin to do. And I'm just so impressed with how he has taken his life back under control, and he's chosen to make these positive changes, but not just for himself, but also the people around him, for his fiance, for his family, for his fans, for his friends. And I just think it's a very commendable thing that Colin has done to try and take himself away, take himself off, and go and put himself in a rehab centre. I know when it came to my parent, we weren't able to it was a bit more of a kind of jump before you get pushed kind of thing. So for Colin to be able to take that initiative and go and do it for himself, hats off to him. But guys, I hope that this has inspired you, if you are the person that might be struggling, that it's okay. Go and check out Colin's full video. You're not alone with these kind of things. If you check out his full video, you'll be able to see the struggles that he went through. You might be able to relate to it. You might be able to see that actually this isn't such a negative thing, and being able to regain control of your life is not a bad thing. And there's also other services as well. Actually, I'm going to link down below. They're more UK based. I'm not sure about US ones, but I will link as many of the UK based substance and alcohol dependency kind of groups down below. So if you are someone that's struggling, don't suffer in silence. Or if you know someone that's struggling, maybe you can signpost them in the direction of these services. But with all that said, what do you guys make of this positive change that Colin has made to his life? I think you can already see he's far, far happier for it, just in the videos that he's uploaded. He's only uploaded 2. There was this one, and then one about his family being haunted. So, you know, but you can already see that there's a positive change. I think the one about his family being haunted might have been done while he was in the rehab centre. I can't tell, but if it was, you know, either or, I think moving forwards we're going to see some very positive videos from Colin. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. If you have enjoyed, you know what you need to do. Jump to get the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload. Please go over to Colin's original video, show him some love and support in this time. And yeah, with all that said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed a bit more of a positive one today. We've just been drowned with drama recently. I wanted to make something a bit more positive, so thank you, Colin, for doing something positive, so I have something positive to talk about. Anyway, guys, until next time, I hope that you've enjoyed, and I'll speak to you later. Peace!